Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Cold Steel 4. And boy, did a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. When a lot happened in the last part. I don't know where to begin to recap. We reached the deck. We fought off Jaegers. We fought off the Ouroboros. We fought off the Prince. And Prince Olivert and the Courageous 2 has made its reappearance. He's not dead, and no one died from that explosion. So, lots of stuff. It's hard to really recap, but a lot happened, pretty much. But, yeah. At least, this is for Twitch, but even though this is part 58 on Twitch, this is actually for Twitch. It's part 55, but it's 58 because the last part was so long. It was 2.5 hours that I broke it up into 3 parts. So for YouTube, I kind of apologize for that because I kind of had to abruptly end those parts because there's like no time to stop. But yeah. For Twitch, you didn't miss anything. This is the next part. But for YouTube, you're good to go. But, let's proceed with, what's gonna happen. Because, I'm interested now. I'm invested. I'm assuming our home base is now on the Courageous. It better be the next day. 5 days to Operation Jormungandr. Oh, look at this thing. There's a cannon he never got to use last time. Oh man, I still can't get over what happened at the in the last part. There's Mint. It's all of our missing students and some of our older ones that we found already. Yeah, there's Yingo. I like the music. There's Rex. There's Lind. Or is that Vivi? I think that's Vivi, actually.
Shinzo-kanだが、指揮支援システムは先代のカレイジャスを踏襲している。最低限のマニュアルは用意したから、不足分は君の方で補足するといい。
はい、複数担当者で共有できるようにしますね。
全長74アージュの先代に対し、本艦の全長は92アージュ。速力、出力ともに上回るが、取り回しには気をつけるといい。
了解です。先代以上のジャジャ馬のようだ。
各種機関と武器管制はこちらから総合的に制御できます。エリカ博士とラッセル博士が開発した対ハッキング機器も搭載していますよ。
お母さんとおじいちゃんのわかりました。
すごい。全てが最新鋭の設備なんですね。
しかもエプスタイン財団で発表されたばかりの次世代端末ですか。
ええ、それとルーレ工科大学による最先端の流体力学の船体への応用、ZCF で開発されたばかりの 次世代動力機関も搭載してるみたい。
しかし何度聞いても信じがたいですね。これだけの最新鋭艦を他国で極秘裏に建造していたとは。
すでに説明したように
Now, how did he do it so fast? Forget secrecy. How the hell did he do it so fast? Has it only been like a month or two since the end of Cold Steel 3?
そのうちの一人がグエンさんになる。
Ah, there he is. Oh wait, no. I'm thinking about. Never mind. It's Gwen. I thought that was Russell for a second there. But yeah, it's nice to see him again. It's been a while since we've seen Gwen Weidenford.
内戦があのような形で終結した後、殿下から相談を受けてな。いずれ赤き翼がもがれた時のため備えをすることになったんじゃ。
Oh, that explains it. So this was being constructed even during Cold Steel 3 and Secrecy. That's how it got made so damn fast.
そうだったんですか。
殿下とグエンさんが連絡を取り合っていたのは知っていましたか。
Still, for the construction site to be located in the Kingdom of Liberal's Valeria Lakeshore, and on top of an old Ouroboros secret base to boot, talk about a plot twist. Oh, isn't that base? Oh, I don't know that. I remember that base. You're referring to the research facility that the face was constructed during the incident in Liberal. I heard that after the dust settled, it was handed over to the ZCF to manage. It does seem like Grandpa and the others used it for some kind of research. Not just Gwen and Professor Schmidt pitched in, but Professor Russell and his Master Alicia too. Whereas Cassius and the Crown Princess were none the wiser. If you want to fool your enemies, you gotta fool your friends first, huh? Classic. As for funding, in addition to His Highness Oliver, Gwen and His Majesty Eugens also contribute off from their personal holdings. But perhaps the most unexpected benefactors were Father and Marquis Rogner. Indeed, quite a cunning play for that by those two. I imagine that keeping this from the Alberias was all in the name of avoiding the eye of the intelligence division. Yes, the same with the Saiyans, right? And so the third wing was complete, independent of the government and Wiseland army. Of course, when I said we were preparing for our wings to be torn away, we only expected they would be commandeered by the government. To be perfectly frank, the thought that they would physically be torn apart never even crossed my mind. This isn't a laughing matter, for the record. Indeed, just being alive is reason enough to thank Eidos, even at the cost of a left eye. Your Highness, I hate to ask, but what's the prognosis? A full recovery doesn't seem to be in the cards, unfortunately. But as a musician, I'm just grateful that my hands and ears made it in one piece. I suppose I had them to thank for that, eh? So you owe your life to George's inner turmoil and the whims of that phantom thief, huh? You have an unbreakable spirit, Your Highness. Don't sell yourself short. Are we gonna finally see what happened? Are we? We are!
Ko いつは甘く見ていたか。シェラ君、すまない。悪いな、はい。
女神よ、願わくは娘を。15秒後に船体は崩壊する。だが最後の賭けをしようか。ブリッジ内に対衝撃重力結界が24秒働く。せいぜいあがくといい。
Oh.
女神よ、暴れるな。身を かがめたまえ。重力結界がダメか。
諦めるでない。
So that's what happened.
遅かったか。いや、可能性はあるはず。我が美のライバルの悪運、確かめさせてもらおうか。
We finally know what happened. That was such a dirty trick the way they end Cold Steel 3. That was so dirty. I still can't believe that our friend, the Phantom Thief, saved you all from that wreckage. Guess his parlor tricks are good for something if that's what he used to spirit everyone away in one piece. No wonder they couldn't find so much as a single body. On top of that, he healed his Highness, the crew, and even the Viscount's great wounds, didn't he? That's right. I was injured too, but somehow I made it out relatively unscathed. When the Viscount jumped in to block the hole in the barrier, I couldn't even use my arts to help him. I'd never felt so worthless in my entire life. I'm sorry, Laura. I dropped the ball when it mattered most. Like I've told you, Toval, you have nothing to apologize for. I'm just relieved you made it out alive. I'm sure Father shares my sentiment. Well, if you say so. I admit, I thought Viscount Arcee was more or less invincible. I was stunned, speechless to see him in that state. But for him, losing his left arm means he'll just swing twice as hard with his right. Power is but an extension of oneself, but what is a sword if not power wrought in steel? But ultimately, it's not the might of one's blade, but will and strength of spirit that decide the battle. The words of his lordship from the Infernal Castle 2 years ago. So ridiculously cool. Okay, Edgelord. Given who we're talking about, I expect he'll only emerge stronger from the experience. If that's the case, that could well become the most difficult trial we've faced yet. I'm inclined to agree. It'd be prudent for us to account for every contingency. There's also the promise we made with Lord Estelle and the others. True that. You can't let them best us. But what exactly is Rose up to? Sorry about my grandfather. She has a way of being evasive. What's that supposed to mean? I definitely was a little surprised by how sudden that all was. If it involves a rivalry, though, the only thing you do is go and check it out, right? What's going on? What's going on? The previous evening, after Reen and the others had been shown around the Courageous 2, which they aborted at Prince Oliver's invitation, they began discussing what they needed to do now that the war would begin in less than a week. As he spoke, a message from a rather surprising party arrived at the conference room. Oh, these two.
帝国のヘクセンブリードが多さにして、そこの今やビータの試練もある。よろしく頼むぞ、オリバルド殿下。
How do you do? Until this moment, I've only heard of you through rumor and legend. I've heard that you watched over the layering of Erebonia's foundation by Arnor I. Is that really true? Well, actually, that was my predecessor. It was Emperor Hector and Prince Drycles who I was best acquainted with 800 years ago. I cannot say the family resemblance is all that strong in you, but you definitely have a familiar fire in your heart. It's quite an honor to hear you say so. I've heard about Roselia from Ren 800 years ago. Even seeing it with my own eyes, I can't quite believe it. I've heard a few things about those of you back there as well. Glowing tales from Ragnar and Zeit both. Wait, what? Ragnar? For real? We haven't seen Zeit since... We spoke shortly before they vanished. Even I have no idea where their whereabouts now, however. That's a shame. From the sound of it, Cassius doesn't know either. Ragnar, the ancient dragon, and Zeit, the divine wolf. Two of the beasts entrusted with overseeing the Septarians.
かの大地の聖獣と同じ女神に使わされた存在ですね。聖杯騎士団副長トマス・ライサンダーです。エステルさん、ロイドさんたちのお噂はかねない。オリバルト殿下はトールズ本校以来となりますね。
And to think that you, a history teacher, are demanding of the girls writer. I must say, I was quite frustrated that I was unable to see what was really going on despite my ties to Kevin. I see. So I guess that means you heard about us from Kevin and Reese. And it sounds like you learned about us from Wazzy, right? Right. We're having all of them operate outside of Erebonia at present. They're out there resisting Ouroboros and their allies, working towards the Great Twilight in secret. The 1st, 4th, 5th, and 6th Angui. It seems the enforcers who haven't come to Erebonia are also all out on operations. Looks like the intelligence division's been active in other countries too, making some pretty serious moves. The Red Constellation's main regiment and the War Guard too. So Uncle Sigmund is finally on the move. Yes, Arios and Risha are responding to their actions. It's the same with Noel, Chief, Sergei, and Dudley, isn't it? I hope they're all okay. To be honest, things are looking fairly grim. So much so that the Papal Guard has begun to act on its own, as cooperating with Operation Mille Mirage. I suspected as much. Now is truly not the time for them to be going off on their own like this. Even during the Night Touch affair 200 years ago, the Papal Guard managed to make a nuisance of themselves. For the time being, though, let's focus on the main issue at hand. The rivalry of the Seven, and... Though it isn't clear how, it seems the announcement that Operation Jormungandr and Operation Mille Mirage will commence 6 days from now is connected to the spread of the disturbance of the spirit veins. What? Wait, does that mean it was influenced by today's events? The boss moving out might be related too. Yes, as well as my father, the Steel Maiden, and the others. This probably involves Mother and Sharon too. And Maribel. She seems to be working with RF somehow. There are likely many causes, but we now have a different grave situation on our hands. Meanwhile, spirit veins across the entire continent have begun activating. It's no longer limited to the Empire. Wait, what the hell? The disturbance was initially a gradual ripple outward from the Empire, but it seems to be matching the coming war in its scope. Right, that's the Great Twilight at work. They need it in full swing for the rivalries to even be possible. I imagine even now they're preparing for the ultimate reformation of the Great One. If only there was something we could do.
だったら話は早い。この間を自由に使ってくれたまえ。どうやら7の総国こそが宰相や知性たちの目的のようだが、逆に言えばそこに破滅を回避できる唯一の光明があり得るんじゃないかな。
そいつは確かに巨大な呪いが発動する中、目に見えぬ何かに全てが導かれる。そんな状況で戦争を阻止するのは正攻法では不可能に近いでしょう。
だからこそ父さんやクローゼも千の陽炎に協力したんだろうしね。でもそもそも呪いって何なのかな。
僕たちはリベールの異変で司法をめぐる災厄と向き合いました。そこでは1200年前の人の業と現代の僕たちをつなぐ問題がありました。
私たちも同じですね。人の業で失われた司法を再現して現代に続く宿業を解決しようとする。 もしかしたらキーヤは取り返しのつかないことをしてたかも。でもロイドたちが来てくれて間違いをちゃんと正してくれた。リベールでは願いを叶える輪、クロスベルでは因果を書き換える木。どちらも祝福であると同時に呪いでもある存在だったけど、エステルたちやロイドたちはそこから目を背けずに向き合ったわ。
ならば真実の見極めこそ君たちが何よりも優先すべきことだろう。エステル君たちやロイド君たち、無論我々もできることではない。
帝国とそれを取り巻く地域のさまざまな表と裏の問題、それに全員で粘り強く関わり続けたお前さんたちにしかできないんじゃないか。
俺たちにしかか。
It's hard to think. Imagine something from way back then.
無論各地の第三勢力のために動くという使命も果たすつもりだが。
It's hard to think if you play through Cold Steel 1, if you start all the way from the beginning, you would not think it'll go in this direction.
中破したメルカバの代わりに君たちの翼を務めることくらいはできるだろう。大型化したことで鬼神2体に騎行兵4機くらいは余裕で積めるしね。
お兄様、
ご配慮感謝します。
トールズ士官学院7組、お言葉に甘えさせていただきます。無論光まとう翼としての活動も存分に手伝わせてもらうつもりです。
私たちも同じく分校生もお世話になっていますし、
艦の運用に必要なら遠慮なくこき使ってもらえると。
ああ、大歓迎だ。正直クルーがまだ足りなくてね。
当然俺も第二の教官として引き続き協力させてもらうぜ。
私もやっとみんなと合流できましたし、まあ伝えた通り私たちは別に動き始めるけど。
俺たちもだ。この後山猫号2で送ってもらう。
Ah, so it's not coming with us? That's a shame. I was kind of hoping that everybody would be here now.
それぞれギルドや支援家として動くんだったな。
ああ、帝国東部やノーザンブリア、ジュライ方面もカバーするつもりさ。
レマン総本部への連絡もあるしな。シェラザードたちも降りるんだろう。
ええ、艦の引き継ぎもあるから降りるのは明日になるけど。
サラ、フィー、カレイジャス2のことは頼んだぜ。
ええ、任せといて。
要請とかあったら連絡して。それじゃあティオン先輩にエリー先輩、キーヤ、ええ、一度クロスベルには戻っておく必要がありますので。またすぐに会えるわ。お互い頑張りましょう。頑張ろう、ユーナ。
Seems like we'll be able to divide things up by region then. You should be able to just lead everything within Merkaba Unit 8 up to Rosine and Gaius. I'll be arranging for the repairs at a nearby location. I really am in your debt, Thomas. Rosine, you too. Thank you. No worries. Please look after everyone. It will not be easy, but our shred of hope has come into view. The time has come for me to undergo my final undertaking. Grandmother? What do you mean, final undertaking? Listen well, children of Class 7. As noted, the spirit veins of the land are activating, and they are disordered, as they've never been before. The same can be said for the shrines, the stages for the rivalries. This includes the Luna Shrine, the only shrine we witches have overseen since ancient times. The Luna Shrine? Isn't that close to Milsanti? Yes, it's the location of the reflecting pool, and generation after generation of wandering witches have watched over it. This pool reflects the genuine truth, and it is to be believed that it is connected to the origin of the Black Records. I didn't expect to hear those mentioned here. Yes, I myself was just told about it the other day. I suggest anyone interested in the real truth behind the curse to come. I swear on my true name I shall provide the answers to your doubts, rest assured. A trial for everyone in Class 7 is what's needed here. Only Selene is left. Yes? I'm going to need you to take your human form, Selene. Huh? Your grandmother? And there they go. We split up. That's a shame. I was kind of expecting everybody would be here. You thought the Lunastron was a dead end, but there was more to it after all. This will be a trial for the entirety of Class 7. I remember out of our adventures in the old schoolhouse 2 years ago. Ah, you mean where everyone first met Valinor? Yeah, and that crazy go-nuts corridor up here at the end. Reverie Corridor. Knowing what we know now, I think that place is yet another sort of shrine. I don't know what my grandma's intentions are, but we should prepare ourselves for anything. For crying out loud, why am I'm not even part of Class 7. Just admit it already, Selene. You're one of us, whether you like it or not. This will be the first time we've seen your human form since the Black Workshop, huh? Ah, to gaze upon both Selene's lovely figure and the reflecting pool in the same day. What fortuitous bit of timing. Once everyone's done with their little tour around the Courageous Two, we can head for Lake Gala. I would probably be wise to land on the water, to put a little distance between ourselves and Wilsanti. Learning to switch between the silent navigation and optical camouflage modes is going to be critical here. Understood. Things are starting to heat up. Next, our plan is to head ashore, with each group making their approach from the target locations. Fortunately, Estelle, Floyd, and the others are already a step ahead of us gathering intel. I'm sure they'll have a head on something useful by the time we get out. We'll be expecting good news, guys. But seriously though, take care of yourselves out there. Right. That goes for you too. It means so much to know you've got our backs. Class 7, it's time to make sure your preparations are set. We'll need every pair of hands we can get around the ship, so those of you in the position to pitch in, please do so. Absolutely, instructor. Makes sense. Even with everyone from the branch campus here, this is a pretty huge ship. Right. It's probably best to make one more round just to be sure. I get free reign, Seekers of the Dawn! The Courageous 2 is a newly constructed ship, but somehow it feels nostalgic. Maybe I'll do one final sleep over on the floor myself prior to departure. Oh, right, I need to find everyone going ashore and wish them good luck, wish them luck again. Each floor has an elevator, okay. The Courageous has many different functions. Fourth floor is a computer room where I can do requests. Third is training, second is weapons, blah blah blah, cafeteria. Okay. I guess I have to actually go to each floor before, yeah, like I mentioned, I have to go to each floor first. Oh boy. Doesn't look like there's anything optional to do. But, let me... Okay. First off... Alright. Come down here, talk to Pablo. Instructor Rain, I hardly noticed you there. This ship is kind of... Okay, really. Pure dead brilliant, don't you think? Don't think I've felt this exhilarated since the first time I wrote the Derflinger. You know, my heart belongs to the railways, but faced with a machine this beautiful, even I could be tempted to stray. I know what you mean, Pablo. I'm still having trouble taking it all in myself. I take it you three are running the bridge? Or at least trying to fill in where we can. We're sort of learning on the fly. Luis, Tatiana, and I will be heading out comms and observation. On the engineering side, you got me and Tita, and Maya and Sydney are manning the guns, with the other combat tactics folks chipping in to help. But me, though, I'll be mostly holed up in the workshop. As for me, I'll be helping out Miss Mint out with anything she needs. Sounds like you're all putting out what you learned with field exercises to practical use. I'm really proud of all you. Alright. Oliver, Scheherazade, I know I'm repeating myself, but I'm so glad you're both okay. Both of you here together, nothing can make me happier right now. Thanks, Alphine. I know I put you through hell. I'm sorry that I haven't been in touch. Honestly, Your Highness, I should have informed you before anyone. That was my failing. Forgive me. No, don't be silly. With that wound, my brother wasn't going anywhere for a while, alright? Thank you so much for helping him with his recovery. Your Highness, you honor me with your magnanimity. Truly. I have to say though, being Cher to feed me is definitely a memory I'll treasure forever. Although she did give me one legendary purple nurple when I suggested she dish the spoon and use her mouth instead. Goodness. Oh, so help me, Eidos. Oliver, you're about 3 seconds away from finding out what life is like with 0 eyes. I wouldn't have guessed it, but those two are much more intimate than I expected. Let me see. Hold on. Are they actually... Oh, they are! Back in his Oliver costume. Going with his bard. So many people. Yeah, I guess it makes sense you couldn't actually mess with Lloyd's or Estelle's group stuff because they aren't actually real. And they're actually party members, I guess. Impressive. Looks like you're already finding your way around the place. Yeah, it really is an incredible ship. This isn't the first time we've met, but I'd like to reintroduce myself nonetheless. I'm Marine Schwarzer. Good to meet you, Scheherazade. When did he meet her? The pleasure's all mine. I've been hearing a lot about you. Sounds like you've been to Gienah and back more times than one. And you're not done yet, it would seem. Adversity seems to be the order of the day for those who call Erebonia home, but at the very least, it made us tough people. But no matter where we're from, I'm glad to be allies with just the same. Estelle, Agate, and now you. You bet. I've got your back. I've been preparing for the worst for a long time now. And just between you and me, as a silver streak, I really don't want to be outdone by the purple lightning. Come to think of it, you've been pretty focused on that for a while now, haven't you? Well, yeah. Despite us being the same age, she was the youngest bracer ever to reach A rank when she did. She's always had a reputation as a force to be reckoned with. Even Cassius relied on her. It did make me a little jealous, I have to say. You're both so fantastic, though. I really admire you, Shara. You know, even though Sarah is my former instructor, we have a close relationship as friends now. I can believe it. Once I came to Erebonia and the two of us actually met, we immediately hit it off. Like, we both like drinking, and our overall situations are fairly similar too, in some ways. Your interests in those of the masculine persuasion couldn't be any more different, though. Oh, that's right. She's got a thing for Silver Fox today. Though I hear the winds of change are starting to blow across that particular plane. Wait, I don't recall telling you anything about this. Charizard are so gorgeous, but she really has a cute side too. Don't worry, you two. I'll sort this out like a proper sister should. Or maybe it's best to just leave it to them. They're right, they are adults after all. Ooh. Huh? What's that? I see that curious glint in your eye. This here is our true trump card. It's what makes ultra long distance communication with Arceus 2 possible. It's an artifact known as the Sonoran Seashell. Mr. Debaucher's prince snuck it in. Wow, incredible. It's a delightful little advice I discovered in some ruins on a visit with the Bracer Guild. That was about, 10 years ago now? It facilitates ultra-long distance communications in a snap and is even able to bypass orbital comm restrictions of all shapes and sizes. It's currently in use as a repeater router per Total's suggestion. It's also linked to your Arceus via the Round and 7 app the Foundation made for me. Its capabilities are almost mind-boggling. And if the ship control tower is set up with this, then we'd have flawless connections with everyone involved with Radiant Wings. As someone who'll be helping with operations, I have to say, I find it hard to believe its capabilities are even possible. I'm with you there. I guess artifacts don't need to be deadly to be powerful. Speaking of that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought the Septian Church collected all artifacts are still functional. About that, after a bit of this discussion with the Grozweig, we managed to come to an agreement of sorts. Our possession and usage has received tactic approval on the condition that we abide a number of itty-bitty rules. Oh, Olivert. So fortunate that we are a man that so fortunate are we that a man of his eloquence and skill walks upon this earth. Huh. At any rate, it seems like Cedric is drifting further and further astray. I'm starting to feel that maybe we can't really go back to how things were. Your Highness. Come on, that can't be true.
兄上が生きていたのは嬉しい。だが、それは弱さなんだ。世界を終わらせて新たな秩序を作る。その偉業の前に、弱さは敵だ。
Those words were proof that he's pushing himself too far. His infatuation with Chancellor Osborne is pretty clear. But I also deserve his resolve as one of the Ironbloods really is so firm. Or as a Divine Knight Awakener, for that matter. I'm inclined to agree. Oh, brother, you silly fool. All we can ever do as people is work with the opportunities in front of us and never give up hope. Besides, I still need to meet him properly, just as I did the princess. He is royalty after all. If it's a family meet and greet you hereafter, sure, you only need only ask. Oh yes, there's mother and father too, if he's recovered. Let's take it down a notch, shall we? Alright. What else I gotta say? My brother and Charizard are both so strong. I feel so relieved, like I'm floating on the air. Alright. Alright. So you guys don't really say anything different. What's this? Oh, it's the elevator. Alright. Oh, Instructor Reed. Aw, Reed. Taking a tour of the ship? Oh, shit. No! It's been some time, hasn't it? About 2 years already, if I'm not mistaken. Right, I think the last time we saw each other was that board of directors meeting at the main campus. I was sorry to hear about what happened to the 7th Division, but I'm glad it's here safe. Yes, no doubt, thanks to the guidance of Eidos. I admit, it was difficult to watch the 7th get disbanded, but it ended up working to my advantage. Thanks to that, I was able to slip away and rendezvous with others in time to help with the creation of the Courageous too. You can never really tell just where life's current will sweep you next, huh? That aside, have you not been able to contact Father or any others either? I'm going to be contacting him and Aria in a short while. Before I do, though, I'd like to get in touch with Uncle Zax and Neathard. I see. No doubt they're struggling with their positions, General Craig concluded. So I've heard. But they're still Imperial soldiers, that hasn't changed. Once Operation Jormungandr begins, they'll most likely be deployed as the main force in the rear guard. And if they are, in Operation Mill Mirage is sure to have faced certain opposition. Right. If Uncle Zax's stratagems are combined with General Craig's unmatched power, then even the valorous Le Guin and tactical genius Cassius could be outmatched, yeah. The conflict might already be impossible to stop in any official capacity, but I'll do what I can behind the scenes. If you could somehow buy us some time on an official front, you have my deepest gratitude, Lieutenant Colonel. Instructor. But of course. That reminds me, I'm many months late saying so, but I wanted to say thank you for mentoring my brother. I'd like to ask that you continue providing him with guidance, so that he may one day grow into a strong, independent man. Hey, Mueller. And my Kurt's already there. But I hear you. As his instructor, it's my responsibility to continue leading me as the best I can. I'm in your debt, Rean. Perhaps I will find a suitable hole to crawl into embarrassment now. Alright. Shit. I thought it was just meaningless dialogue. What did he say? Oh, he's talking about Yulia. Yep. Yulia. Yulia. She is, she's like, Chloe's friend. So the strategy conference room and training room are on this floor. Third floor contains, okay. Training room cannot be used yet, but it appears to provide a good variety. Alright. Oh, nice. Hey Jessica, are you sure you don't want to go to talk to Angelica? It's fine. She's still getting the grips of the ship's controls. I don't want to interrupt. Besides, I already messaged her after any infiltrated leaves. Glad to hear it. It's been a while since the three of us got together, huh? It's a shame we can't go hang out with the receipt like we used to. We're set. Agreed. I could go for a stack of pancakes right about now. We'll get our chance. We'll all go together once the war is over. I got a lot more crossbow to show you girls too. Then I'll return the favor with a tour of Roar. And after that, you two can come to Remiferia. We can go on a road trip all around the places we grew up. The girls in the Dennis Club are such great friends. I'm almost a little jealous. Alright. Oh, Rean. How's it going? You guys talking to Major Irving about the handover procedures? Yes, the ship is a new build. There are many things about we don't understand. That's why I have the manual in hand to read and check it as I go. Sounds tough. Keep up the good work. Under normal circumstances, I should also be helping out too, since I'm part of the branch campus faculty and all. Well, you got a trial from Rose coming up the lake gauntlet, don't you? You just leave this up to us then. Just make sure you're prepared. You got it? To be honest, I'd like to go too, but it's only members of Class 7 that are allowed to, right? It's kind of frustrating, to be honest. Sorry about that, Toa. I'll be sure to head straight to the ship with the trial results. Will you be heading down after the handover procedures to meet up with main campus students, Major Irving? Right. I'm planning on also serving as their backup. at least for the time being. Let's keep in touch then. It'll help maintain a shared branch campus mindset, so to speak. Of course. Thank you very much. We'll do so great the principal won't know what hit her. Oh, Schwarzer, I wanted to speak with you about Major Riv. Claire. Right, we only saw an image of her on the Pantagruel, just like the Chancellor and the others. Though she's probably carrying out some pretty important tasks in a different area. Yes, she's likely working to finalize the railway's usage plans in preparation for your Operation Jormungandr's start, as well as carrying out her duties as part of the Iron Bloods. Right. I know her, and I can only imagine how much losing Orion must have hurt her. It's not really my place to say, but please do what you can for her. If things keep going this way, she won't be able to handle it much longer. Understood. I'm not sure what I can really do, but as one of the people who cares for her, I'll do everything I can. That's all I ask. I'm in your debt, Schwarzer. As she's struggling with it, you can tell she's obviously struggling with it. This looks like the men's bathing area. Previous creatures only had showers. Guess this is just one of the benefits of a larger ship. And we have the trial of the Luna Shrine where the refracting pool is. I'd probably better go ahead and wash up now. This house already gave me the permission to use it, so I might as well head in, right? Whoa, there's separate facilities for women and women, and they really went all out on the changing area. Alright then. Is that you, Reen? Hey, Elliot, Machias. I guess we all have the same idea. Yeah, we're just starting to get a handle of the ship's function, so it seems like a good idea to go wash up. Mind if we join you? Does seem a little pretty spacious after all. Yeah, of course. Wanna head in then? This is pretty amazing. Whoa, this is like a full-scale bathhouse. It's almost too lavish. Could it even get more luxurious than this? Was it Professor Smith that designed this ship? Him and Professor Russell from Liberal. Seems he was with one of the Professor Epstein's three main disciples. This may have been one of his suggestions since he seemed pretty well acquainted with His Highness. He was grandfather, right? I could see that happening for whatever reason. I see, we weren't the first to come up with this idea. Oh, hey, Eustace. Gaius and Crow too? So every single one of us wound up here. Looks like we're all of one mind. It's not like there isn't enough room for all of us to squeeze in. And our first bath on the ship should be a bonding experience, right? It's a nice view. Beyond the skies. How far we've come. Yes, it does feel like we've come very far. I know what you mean. Kind of surprised to see everyone here like this. For crying out loud, why the hell are you guys getting all so mushy? I mean, we're on a brand new cutting edge ship here. You gotta get more excited, man. And while we're here, let's get talking. The filthier the better. It's time to air out your dirtiest jokes and fetishes. Why on earth would we? Absolutely ridiculous. There's no reason at all we should participate. Come on, Crow. We're not students anymore. Wait, Crow never graduated. Maybe we should consider him a repeat student? Hey, who gives a shit about that? It's time to take it off, guys. Pretty sure, damn sure guys will be the winner, but you never know, some guys like Elliot are. Whoa, what the hell are you saying, Crow? Crow, this clearly isn't a dignified conversation. Yeah, what if a girl was sitting nearby and overheard you say something like that? But would respectable behavior be in character for any of us? I'm just gonna take in the scenery and enjoy the water. Huh. Alright. We got a shop over here. Yo. Hello, instructor. Hey, guys. I heard these two know each other from way back. They both grew up in Uri. Must be nice for Stark to finally see his old friend again. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'll go. No, by all means, come join us. Is that alright with you, Crow? Sure. Too much nostalgic talk makes me uncomfortable anyway. Besides, I got asshole Reen here all about how you're doing at the academy. What do you say, Reen? My boss Stark giving you any trouble? I've heard he's a kind of big shot in the combat logistics scene. Pretty impressive, given how much a crybaby used to be. Crybaby, huh? That happened when I was 8 years old. I've changed a lot since then. I mean, I should hope so. Honestly, though, I think you've even grown in the time since I last saw you. I heard that after you left Crossbow, you ended up helping the complete Courageous too. That's right. Becky got in contact with me and told me what was going on. You always were pretty sharp, but good at keeping secrets too. She made a good call bringing you in, especially since you had an idea of what you and her pals were up to. Hell, you even managed to get a hold of a whole lot of stuff about Sea way back when. Damn, man, it's almost creepy how good you are at this stuff. Speaking of Sea, do you still have the mask you wore back then? If you don't mind, I'd like to take a look at it. I second that. It's been a while. Are you guys just making fun of me now? Come on. Hey, instructor. What can I get you to drink? Oh, Freddy. I thought you'd be in the cafeteria. I checked out the facility, sure enough. But there's no need for 2 cooks. I'll have Sandy in charge of there for now. Besides, I can do some cooking here just as well over here. Kenneth from the Imperial Fishing Club lent me all sorts of fishing supplies and the like. So if you want to trade in some fish, speak with me, just like during the field exercises. Sounds good to me. Say, aren't you hungry? I can make you something to snack on. What were you thinking of whipping up? Let me think. The stewed bee larva, cicada fritters, and grilled peppered skink. That does not sound appetizing at all. Now, don't go drilling all over your nice clothes, instructor. I don't think there's any risk of that. So you still got that penchant for including bugs in your dishes, huh? By some strange turn of events, my stomach doesn't really turn at the thought of it anymore. Freddy's a decent cook, too. It might honestly actually be tasty, bugs or not. What you got? You got nothing interesting. I consider myself fairly aware of what was going on with Millie Mirage, but between President Roxman joining the meeting and Prince Oliver showing up, I clearly had no idea what it really entailed. I know what you mean. The Prince managed to keep himself and the ship such a well-guarded secret it even took me by surprise. I think our mutual friend over there will have some choice words about your bold declaration, however. Come on, Instructor Reen, don't be mad. Oh, he's mad, alright. I had a whole speech worked out, but now that I think about it, I feel like I might sound like a little hypocritical. And it would, given how you're far worse when it comes to trying to sacrifice yourself. It's just like you just said. With everything I've done, I'm in no position to criticize you, Muse. I'll leave that job to Elise and Alphine. Oh, believe me, they've already made their feelings quite clear. Alright, I guess we're done here then. In any case, I'm just glad that everyone is safe. We'll be counting on you two for your help with the Luna Shrine, but take some time to relax before then. I intend to. Thanks. Thank you, Instructor. Got these guys over here. Duvall and Laura, huh? Straight to asking for a match then? No, that's not the case. We both arrived at the training area independently and unexpectedly ran into one another. And you all would be leaving for that trial soon. I should never be so boorish as to wear someone out before something like that. My bad, Diwali. But I gotta say, it's pretty amazing that we have such a quality training facility in a ship like this. Yes, I suppose you could say that, if you really wanted to. The previous creatures also had substantial facilities, but there certainly wasn't an area quite as spacious as this available. I found it irritating to always be receiving favors. So, as a training opportunity for you all, an Arcasian belonging exclusively to the Gestalt Rider, may I present the Vanguard F2 Sleipnir. Is that a state-of-the-art arcade from Ouroboros? Like the one we use at Hamel in the Naval Fortress? But are you still able to make use of them even after separating stuff from Ouroboros? Yes, it's especially adapted for our own use. Sleipnir, come. Oh. Now that I see it up close, it's fairly intense. Going up against an arcade like this does seem like it would make some phenomenal practice. I have another Sleipnir unit, actually. I wouldn't mind letting you use that for training as well. While you're all undergoing your trial, I'll set them up to respond to specific combat situations for practice. I usually just leave it in the main reserve area, so feel free to use it if you like, even when I'm not around. Talk about full service treatment. We truly honor your debt, Diwali. Thank you. Cool. Wow, it's Vantage Masters. Oh, Schwarzer, I heard you play why does everybody keep saying surprised? I've been indulging in enhanced for tactical skills. Okay. What you got, lady? I'm gonna just keep mine barred. Alright, cool. Let me do... I'm afraid of like... Trying to think here. Put that there. Shit, I didn't mean to do that one. Fuck. I meant to give that to my penguin. Yeah, I knew he was gonna do that. All right. Okay. Let me do this. I'll seal you so you can't counter. Then I will seal you so you can't do anything. Alright, seal you, so you can't counter. And of course you can do that, you prick. Nice try. Get rid of him, attack, and attack. Uh-oh. Steal him. Guess I can't really... I could steal him further, but there's no point. Well, I guess. Yeah, why not? Can't do anything. My defense is falling. Oh, seriously? I did not think that through. Alright. Oh, good. Wonderful. She's got some pretty high defense cards. My defense is gone. Put the damage in. Alright, next turn I should be able to win. Unless he heals him. Yeah, he's gonna heal him. You're an asshole. Alright. Alright. Oh, I can actually see my Blix. I'll get rid of him. Alright, now, unless he heals again, I win. I win. It's over. Goodbye. Put up a good fight. Put up a good fight, but it was just not enough. Alright. Second floor. This floor contains exits in the ship or deck. Seems that you got a cafeteria, a sick bay, a reference room, and some stores here too. Alright. This place has everything. Ooh, got lots of people to talk to in here. So, what do you think of the Courageous 2, Reen? I gotta say, the original might have been incredible in its own right, but this is about as cutting edge can get. I heard they even put the armaments through a fair bit of upgrading. Yeah, though His Highness didn't seem too hot about it at first. Hot or not, we're in for some pretty intense combat in the days coming. That's just a fact. Once we get to the point, basic deterrence just won't cut it anymore. Yep, that's probably what clinched the decision to load up on the firepower. Sounds like they met some resistance from the Professor Smith on the development side of things, though. I can only imagine. Professors Erika and Albert Russell were involved in this as well, right? Seems they had a tech expert from the Epstein Foundation come in on the down low, too. Yep, this ship's got all the latest tech, safer for anything the Verne Company might be keeping under wraps. In other words, you guys got yourselves a pretty killer setup here. Make sure you put it to good use, alright? Got it. I'll relay that to His Highness and the students, too. Are you gonna meet up with Estelle and the others once you get down to the surface? Nah, I'll plan on letting Sherazard take care of that front. I'll be operating on my own for a bit. Got a few things I want to check out. I'm sure he'll be more than busy enough dealing with all the rivalries, but do me a favor and keep an eye on his majesty for me too, alright? Of course, we'll take care of him. That your intuition calling? Feels like it's almost something I'm always on the mark on the market at times like this. Just make sure you say hi to Ayn for me, okay? What? I haven't been able to get in contact with her yet. She must be talking about the head of the Gralsrider. I didn't know she and Toba were more acquainted. Now I actually know who she is. Okay, that goes to the deck. Margarita. Tatiana, I was wondering when I might see you again. And now you, Margarita, you're looking well. Oh, I guess I did hear that you two were old friends. Some sort of family connection, right? That's right. Dilettante families tend to flock together, as Tatiana's might have since times medieval. Though Tatiana's father is a viscount, while mine is a mere baron, and she never let that stand in the way of our friendship. Well, the Dresdens always have been tolerant of those from social standings, too. Of course. And that shared tolerance is a part of what's kept our family so close for all these years. That's good kind of a friendship to have. Oh, beauty calls to beauty after all. It was always our destiny to come to each other's lives. Just like me and Vincent and how we fell in love at first sight. Oh, is that what happened? It's good to see you're just as powerful as ever, Margarita. God, there's so much stuff to talk. Alright. There's many books. Oh, Ring. Hey, how's it going? Lynn, Vivi, I'm so glad you two are alright.
それはこちらのセリフです。リンさんや皆さんにお怪我がなくて本当に何よりです。それにしてもリン君ってばますます色男になっちゃって。それで恋愛の方はどうなの？そろそろ本命は決まった？
Vivi, please. I'm really sorry about this, Reen. It's okay. In a way, it's actually kind of comforting. Some things never change. In any case, I'm sorry for all the trouble I put you two through. If I'd just been a little more skillful in my command, things might not have gone the way they did. It's okay, guys. You don't have any... You have nothing to apologize for at all. You had drawn the enemy away with your macabre, but there's no way the operation could have succeeded. Besides, it's about time we got some front page line for once. It certainly was a rather dramatic appearance, to say the least. By the way, you're staying on the ship as part of the medical staff, right, Lynn? Where does that leave you, BB? Well, since I'm already here, I was thinking I could sign on as the Courageous 2's official photographer. I'm sure Rex can handle the on-land coverage just fine on his own. What do you think? Great, that settles it. She just decided for herself. Good to have you. Looks like things are about to get a lot more hectic from around here. So really to see Vivi and Lynn doing well. Looks like the Courageous 2 is gonna be alright. Given them already here and everything, I think I'll see. Okay. Oh, she's a shop. Oh, interesting. She sells this stuff, huh? Well, I guess that makes sense because she's wow. I already used like 40 battle scopes. Shit. I'm so glad we made it in time. Also, I want to apologize for keeping my whereabouts a secret for so long. It's okay, Lind. You got nothing to apologize for. Especially with what I hear about you helping out His Highness's treatment. So, thank you. I'm really glad to have you with us. Me too, Rain. I promise I won't let you down. I caused you and Rosalind so much trouble through my inexperience. I can only thank Ados no one got hurt. I would hardly be able to forgive myself if I had brought harm upon any of you. But rather kick myself over that what happens, I ought to move forward and do what I can to make up for it. This isn't your weight to carry alone, Gaius. Remember that. Alright. Who's this we lead? Oh, that's also the deck. Oh, Reen. Well, we finally meet again. Reen? Are you, okay there, Dorothy? Oh, isn't she like the crazy yaoi person? I think she was like the crazy yaoi person.
でも確かにその姿は反則的というかリーンを元ネタにしたラジオドラマ今すぐ新しいエピソードを書き下ろしても構わないよねね
It's business as usual with these two, as you could probably tell. No kidding. I'm not sure I've ever seen you guys ease up. That might have been a bit excessive, actually, even for me. Sorry, Rain. I got a little carried away myself. You don't need to apologize. I get it. This is kind of a lot to take in all at once. That aside, are you willing to manage the internal room for us, Monk? You know it. I'm a little busy with all my radio tricks works, sure. You guys got way more on your plate out here. Can't imagine a single one of us out there wouldn't jump on to lend a hand. Speaking of which, Dorothy and I just finished setting up the terminal. As it just so happens, the Imperial Museum approved my extended hiatus request. I'll probably spend most of my time in the reference room next door, so feel free to call for me whenever you'd like. You can go ahead and send all the data the branch campus kids have collected over to us. Battle and combat data goes to me, personal files off to Vivi, and any books and other written materials over to me. Okay, got it. Thanks for all your help, guys. It's good to have you aboard with us. That's nice. What are you doing? This terminal's carried out a connection test for Palm Party. I helped out a little. I see. You play Palm Party, right, Emma? Yes, sometimes. Oh, that reminds me, we haven't exchanged account IDs yet. We should play against each other if we have the time. Sweet! Alright. Alright. What's going on down here? Hey guys, welcome to the esteemed courageous branch of Nine Volley. don't leave empty-handed. I rubbed my eyes in disbelief when I saw your shop sign. How'd you end up setting up shop on board? The blondie reached out to me. I was downright floored when he hit me up about taking care of personal armaments. But I couldn't give two shits whether he's a ghost or not. As long as his mirror's corporeal, we're set. Got to see some cool stuff here, so I decided to stick around for a while. Even ever the shrewd businesswoman I see. We're fighting against something on a whole different level than ever before. It's going to be very risky. Having weapon merch around on a ship will definitely come in handy. I got you, pal. Alright. Why do you have nothing new in exchange? I don't have any of that. What else is there? Let's see. Tamamo Gem. I really wish you can get another Rage Rune. This will be nice for Yuna for status dealing. There's the Zeus gem, which I need, which I could really use too. I would need an Evade 3 and Ixion Volt SR. I don't think I can get an Ixion Volt XR. Cornelia, Vulcan, Mars. You can! I need LaForte SR though. Oh. Alright, what's this? Oh. Interesting. Magic Evasion. Ocean Bell. Kawa. Break damage. There's lots of good things you can have. Wait, what was that? Astro Bell? Oh. Never mind. Odin. So you sell me weapons. I guess I should buy new equipment. Wait, Celine's in here too? Hello? Oh. I didn't realize Celine was in the party in human form. Hold on. I guess I can't mess with their equipment. I guess it goes over her ornaments too. Yeah. It's expensive, dude. I'm just gonna focus on class. Well, I guess it's all class 7, isn't it? It's expensive. And I still have to buy equipment too. First off, sell my old equipment. Alright. I'll sell like 20 of these. I'm definitely gonna need the Mira. That shit, it gets so expensive, it's ridiculous. And these guys haven't had an upgrade in a while. So I'm gonna need some serious armor upgrades going. So I need 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, hold on. Did I count that right? 3, 4, 5. 20. I need. Well, I guess divide doesn't really count, so I can. Well, it's only for class 7 for the moment, so 3, 4. $16? I don't know if Sarah counts. I'll just get 15. And all that money just went down the shitter right away. Ah. Yeah, she definitely needed that. Everyone needed new shit. I kind of don't want to get you new stuff though, because for one, this is better, and two, evasion. Everybody else though, definitely. Shit, hold on. I know Sarah would technically count. Oh, you're here. Is that Reen I see? Hey there, Becky. Been a while, hasn't it?
音沙汰なかったのは堪忍やけど、ベッキー紹介カレイジャスしてこの度堂々のオープンや。改めてよろしゅう頼むわ、リー。
Don't be silly. We're the ones who'd be thanking you. Seeing her over the counter like that really does scream courageous, though, doesn't it? It's like the Civil War all over again. All she's missing is Hugo rivaling her for cider. Looks like he's off date. Doing whatever he wants to for the monster now, per se. I have to prove myself that his way of dealing with things is just not right. I can't with this accent. Business isn't just about the profits. You've got to have empathy for the customers too. Well, it's good to see the Becky brand enthusiasm is never low in stock, at least. By the by, I plan on heading down from the ship soon after this. You can bet I won't spare any effort helping you guys out. We'll swap info again next time we meet, so make sure you come find me. Besides, you won't want to miss out on these spicy new glamour shots I'm putting together, would you? I think I probably missed a few of them, actually. Let's just say we'll do our best and leave it at that. Ooh. Roselia, huh? Or his armband. Like my 99 if I wanted to. Nah. Buy like 5. Or buy like 7. Oh, she's selling cards. I want those. Thank you. Violet hair for Elise. Oh, I forgot I had this. Wow, I'm not so sure I could pull off so wearing such a gorgeous necklace. Nonsense. I know this isn't your usual style, but I know with certain it would suit you at the moment I saw it. So please try it on. If you insist. I don't mean to give you the wrong impression, Rain. I couldn't be happy to receive such a lovely gift. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Pleasure's mine. Sweet! What do we have here? A hunting cap? It's very well made and stylish to boot. Not the most enthusiastic reaction, but I'll take it. Do you think you'll get some use out of it? Definitely. Once things are calmed down, would you like to go hunting for me and my falcon? I'll think of something to give you in return by then. Sure, that'd be fantastic. I'll be looking forward to it. Oh, it's right there, come on! The donut cushion was proven to be a fine gift indeed. Not only am I able to gaze upon the most delectable foods in the world at any time I wish, but I'm also embraced by the perfect plushness, and when I hug and sit on it, I quite love it. I'm glad glad to hear it. I have no idea she loved a novelty cushion this much. I must give you a gift of similar value in return. Please take this. Again, how? Did they just reach through the screen and give you something? I don't understand how this works. Oh wow, is this some kind of magical accessory from Aaron? Indeed, it amplifies mana. May it serve you well. Thanks so much, Roselia. Alright, what's this thing? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Ooh, that's a nice boost in art stat. Alright. Guess the Orbital shop is over there. Oh no, it's the cafeteria. Orbital shop must be over there. No? Where is the Orbital shop? Hello? Must be down below. Hey Maya, haven't had breakfast yet? Of course I have, but it's all on me, instructor. This kitchen is just makes it so fun to use. I roped Maya into being a taste tester for the new dish that I'm working on. I was happy to help, really. Even after I had a large meal, I can always make room for something different. Whoa, that's pretty impressive. Alright. I swear, that's not her voice from Cold Steel 3, but I digress. Well, who's sure is something you don't see every day. I didn't realize you two had come aboard the Courageous too as well. As escorts for Major Michael, yes, though we plan on returning to the surface before long. That said, I never could have imagined we'd end up having to face His Highness so quickly. But at the same time, we've been well prepared to do so. This was as good an opportunity as we could have expected. That does make sense. So, what's the situation with the Dirtlinger then? Yeah, did the Imperial Defense Force and RMP end up chasing it down? It would appear the Imperial Defense Force doesn't deem us worthy of wasting their time. We managed to keep the RMP in the dark as well, thanks to Major Michael. I think we'll have to have a certain degree of freedom in our movements from here on out. So let's be sure to keep in touch, alright? Did you make sure to take down my Argus number? I've already relayed it to the communication team, if not. Yeah, you bet I did. Man, I've been blowing your Argus up non-stop if it weren't for this stupid war. Oh? Was there something specific you wanted to discuss? Nah, my main man here just wanted to hear your sweet, silky voice is all. Is that so? In that case, I respectfully decline. And bam, shot right out of the gate. I haven't even made an actual move yet. The more things change, the more they stay the same. For Sydney, at least. Huh. Poor guy. Alright, what are you guys doing? Oh, hey, Instructor Reen. Hello. Hey, you two. Taking a little break? Hells yeah. I like this place almost as much as the Dirtlinger. We took a little look around the other decks, but it's still hard to get a good grasp of all the facilities on board. Every facility is state-of-the-art, but they don't have a pool. I think that might be asking too much. They got great baths, though. Maybe you can make do with them for now. Alright. I know I gotta go to the deck, but let me go down to the workshop first. Look at this place. Lots of... This floor contains the hole in the workshop. We'll be spending a lot of time here. Yep, I know how this works. This is real... Yeah, I don't need an explanation on this. Working with Professor Smith has done wonders for your skills, Tita. I'm glad to hear that all of your 3 units are testing well so far. Thanks, I'm really excited about it too. Oh hey, you were an engineer on the original Courageous, right? I'm amazed you remember me. This is actually the 3rd Arcellus airship I've worked on. I've been there right since the beginning. But this one is packed full of the most advanced technology RF, the Foundation, and the CCF has to offer. And might as well be my masterpiece. I only hope it proves worthy of what you and His Highness are trying to accomplish. Believe me, this has already helped us more than enough. You know, between you, Tita, and everyone else, CCF has done a heck of a lot for us. Well, it never hurts to have a good working relationship with the Bikes of the Prince. Now that the handover is complete, most of the ZCF staff are going to leave the ship next time we land. But that means I'm entrusting my masterwork to you, Tita. Do me proud. Got it. I won't let you down. Thanks again for everything. Strengthen my weapons. Up. I don't want to do that. Let me think here. Forte-Asar, so I should be able to exchange for another Rage Unit, right? I need an Ixion Volt SR, but I need 2 normal Ixion Volts, which I don't have. Damn it. In Master Quartz? Obarian, yes. Ooh, look at that. Nice. Oberon. Obarian. Bright colors. I can go for... I can make Ixion Volts, right? I can't. It's so expensive. I'll need 2 of them. Actually, I'll need 4. Right? Oops. Oh, it looks like I already have 1, so I just needed... Oh, I'm just short. Damn it. Looks like I already have 1. No! God damn it. I'll just buy 1. In the meantime, I don't want to do this because I want to get another Ixie involved. I'll just do one that are specific to... Oops. I don't want to spend it in my win set. Let me go back to these. Let me go up here. No, I can actually fast travel. Oh, I need to look forward to SR. Shit. Let me see here. I don't think I can. Is that what I wanted to do? No! God damn, I keep pressing the wrong things. So I need one more Laforte-R, so I need 2 Lafortes. Can I even make Lafortes? Oh, no, I had not. That's my question. I have 38 Sepith. And I need 240. Maybe if I hadn't upgraded my stuff, I probably could have. Oh, Rain. Just making sure the ship's equipment is on order. Yeah, I'm getting ready to head to the Luna Shrine. Gwen, I know I've said this before, but great work on the Courageous 2 operations. And Ferris, sounds like you and Patrick and theirs help quite a bit. Well, only a little. I was just acting as a representative for our sponsors. Handling Schmidt's unreasonable demands is exhausting work. Right. I'm just glad you two made it through okay. And I guess my mother and Sharon are safe too. Elisa, that stupid daughter of mine, going so far as to involve Schmidt. Also, Franz is completely... I mean, what the hell was with him? Forget it. I'm sorry, Elisa. No, it's okay, Grandfather. I've also prepared myself for the worst for some time now. He's almost like a different person, even though he looks just like Father. But I'm prepared to face him. You know, you've gotten really strong, a lot stronger, Elisa. Yes, it seems like you've been making strides alongside of Reen and the others from Class 7. Hold on a minute, Ferris. Wouldn't it be more accurate to say alongside Reen and just end it there? Oh, you might, yes. That does sound better. Hey, Ferris. What is this about? I don't really know the particulars, but I think someone might be in denial about something. I'm guessing it's Elisa. Grandfather, Ferris, can the both of you please stop with the speculation? Alright. Anyway, looks like you'll be on the ship for the time being, Gwen. Ferris, you said you'll be heading down? Yes, I'll be going back to Ortis. I need to speak to my brother about something. We're nearing the final act, so I'd like to give my best to Governor Regnitz as well. Okay, I'd be happy to help out any way I can. You would do well to accomplish what you must first. Together with Reen and those from Class 7. I trust that's one thing you won't waver on, yes? Yeah, you're right. Thanks, Ferris. Let's both do our best. And let's show some pride as former members of Thor's Lacrosse Club. You got it. That's true friendship. Right? I'm glad she's got such a good friend. What about you, Reen? How are things go with you and Elisa right now? That's, Grandfather! Oh, Rain. Elliot and Mitten Kenneth?
てるみたいでよかったよ。まあリーン君たちなら絶対大丈夫って思ってたけどね。
そうだね。ところで今も竿は振ってるかい？各地に現れた主たちについて耳寄りな情報があるんだけど。
Well, maybe I'll fill you in then. But I know that men helped the branch campus. You helped with the Courageous too, right, Kenneth? Well, I did travel around all over Erebonia while investigating fish ecosystems. Guess I did help in that. I shared the information I was able to acquire with His Highness and everyone. I see. That sounds like you. Ours really does produce all types of people, doesn't it? For sure. The occasional musical prodigy, even. Well, prodigy might be going a bit far. Seems like you really improved your technical skills while at Liberal, man. And you were involved in the construction of the Courageous too. Well, I was allowed to join in on some already finished equipment, you could say. Professor Russell experiences extreme tunnel vision when focusing on... that's certainly true. But he wasn't overly strict when it came to minor mistakes. Working for him was pretty easy in that sense, just like Professor Schmidt. I think you might be the only person who said that work under Professor Schmidt is easy. Man, it's a pretty big deal too. Alright. Let's have a chat with Ordine. Ordine, how you find the Courageous too? I couldn't ask for more. Understand that always being in flight means I consume a significant amount of mana. The Meisters are excellent as well. I'm grateful to be able to rest in such a calm and relaxing place. That's great. Still, I may ask that you lend us a hand again in the future. Let's make it through the rivals together. By all means. And then there's our good old silent buddy Valimar. Valimar, Millium. We finally reached a place where everyone can only let their guard down for a bit. We made it through without incident. All that's left now is to see this rivalry through to the end. There's a trial before that too. Failure is not an option. Thanks for your help, you guys. Alright, we got one more place we need to go to, the deck. You've gotten a lot stronger since the last time we met, Kairi. All that training you must be doing you good. I'm noticing considerable difference in, let's see, your deltoids. You can tell? That's great! And you're right, last time I took some measurements, my shoulders were at least a rag wider than before. See? Good work and you're bound to see results sooner or later. Or good work? Work hard, I mean. Wow, Wayne's got a real eye for details. Rain? Oh my god, I can't speak. It's Wayne. I'm so glad to see that you're unharmed, Patrick. And I know Reen feels the same. Thank you, Elise. I'm happy to see you safe too. Instructor Macro from the main campus got in touch beforehand to apprise us of the situation, so I knew better than to worry, but still. I see. So that's why the branch campus students were all aboard. Right, you are. Clever as always. No doubt you were racked with anxiety over my whereabouts, chest tight with the pain of uncertainty, so it must have pulled up. Uh-oh. Schwarzer. Hey, good job out there, you two. Are you all set to head out, Patrick? Naturally. I finished making the necessary preparations yesterday. Good to hear. Honestly, I'd rest easier if I knew you were going to be staying aboard. But yes, I feel the same. What's your game here, Schwarzer? Leave me alone with Elise? This isn't like you. What do you mean? It's not like I've ever specifically tried to keep you apart. What? I shudder to imagine what you'd do if that was your aim then. Schwarzer, let me see this. I don't know how much of an ordeal this rivalry is going to end up being, but I will not, under any circumstances, permit you to disappear or leave poor Elise behind. Patrick, I'm sorry. I've been trudging around with an air of resignation without even realizing it. But you know, people might start getting weird ideas if you spend too much time alone. Maybe I'll show you. Maybe I'll have you show me around the ship then, Patrick, if you're so inclined. Talk about doing a 180. It does my heart good to see your friendship thriving, you two. Poor Patrick, he just can't. In any case, you're headed for the Eastern Erebonia, right, Patrick? Planning on going down and having word with some of the main campus graduates to take it? Indeed. I've been in touch with Friedel, Loggins, and Lambert. I would seem Clara, Polar, and the others are going to help us. Good to hear. They'll be a huge asset. Goodness, there really isn't anything that can stand up to the united power of the Thor student body, is there? Please do take care of yourself, Patrick. Of course I will. I will safely return by your side, Elise. I mean, I'll be back soon enough in a completely platonic way, and then all three of us can catch up. Okay, sure. May luck be on your side, Patrick. To all passengers, we will soon be concluding our orientation flight and charting a course to Luna's Shrine. We'll be landing on Lake Gall in 30 minutes. Good timing. I'm done here. I'll just double check that I'm ready, then head to the bridge. Alright, with that, this is a good place to stop. So, when we come back, we will head off to the bridge, do some final preparations if need be, and then head out to the Luna Shrine to see what kind of stuff we're going to be... let's see what kind of stuff Rose is going to throw us at us. I can't even speak tonight. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next part. Later.